What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we're on the free-to-play account today, the main free-to-play. Have some pretty cool developments to talk about. We're going to be talking about the clan boss specifically today. I usually try to do a clan boss video every couple of weeks just to kind of update on how the Bat Eater progress is going on my main account, kind of showing that journey as we went from using the speed lead all the way to now we have the Draco Bat Eater going and getting pretty crazy damage out of that. But I wanted to talk about the free-to-play account today because we've been working really hard on the free-to-play account over the last couple of weeks, trying to get this clan boss team in order. You guys have followed along on Free-to-Play Friday. You know it's been a little bit of a struggle getting our clan boss team going on Nightmare. We've been trying to get that 4 key, and I think this week we finally managed to do it. We even managed to solve the Force clan boss. That was the one that was giving us the most problems. Anytime it would go Force, we would have a lot of issues because Frozen Banshee and Aina are our two main DPS on our clan boss team, and they are of course Magic Affinity, so that Force boss would really hurt us pretty bad. So let's go into clan boss here. You can see here on Ultra Nightmare, there's my main team that I've been using now. Doing pretty good. It's very inconsistent though. My damage range is anywhere from 60 million to 70 million a key on Ultra Nightmare, depending on what happens with the affinity swap. You see here on Nightmare today, we've already finished the clan boss, and this is what was making it difficult. Is our clan is to the point now where we are actually getting Nightmare to the affinity swap by like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So by the time I can actually get on my free-to-play account to run my 2 keys in the morning, it's like it's already swapped affinity, so that was making it kind of difficult to get good keys in. But we've been able to build some of our champions up, work on our Great Hall a little bit. We're going to go over all that here in a little bit. I'll throw up a couple of screenshots here too, showing the last couple of keys we've been running, where we've been getting some pretty solid damage out of our team comp. But you can see today we've actually managed to put 3 keys in already. All 3 of these I believe were on the Magic Affinity, which does play well into our strength because we do have 2 Force champions in this lineup, and then our damage dealers are both kind of same affinity, so we don't really lose much there. One of the big things that's really helped this team is we brought in Grush, and we have Grush with the leech ability, which has allowed us to take some of our champions out of lifesteal. So we're now running Skull Crusher actually in a poison set. We've got Aox just in some general gear. Aina I was able to get into a relentless set, and then Frozen Banshee actually is still in her lifesteal, and we'll go over all the gear and everything once I get to we get through this key. Now, cool thing is, when I ran my key earlier today, that 16 million key, which is the highest we've had so far on Nightmare, Aox did not have his masteries finished. I actually did manage today, with some energy I had from Clan vs. Clan leftover on the free-to-play, was able to get him War Master. So I'm hoping that's going to lead to a nice jump in his damage, but Aox has really been kind of the MVP of this team. I started using him on the Force boss, even without his masteries done, and it was amazing the change he was able to help with the attack down, with the healing he puts out, and also with the extra poison he's helping out with. So he's been a really great champion for us on clan boss. Now we started putting Skull Crusher into the lead spot, hopefully so that he takes the stun, because he can actually clear his own stun. You don't have to worry about it if he gets hit with that attack. So especially if it's Spirit boss, put him in that lead slot. It's going to basically take care of that stun for us. And since we do have Leech now, we don't have to worry about lifesteal as much. Although if you're just running Leech by itself, you probably still need to have a little bit of lifesteal, unless you're bringing a champion that is going to provide some additional healing. And that's why we have Aox in this comp as well. Because Grush by himself, Leech is only going to give you about an 18% heal on the damage you do. So it's not as good as the lifesteal heal. So if you're only using Grush and you're not using lifesteal on anybody, you're actually going to have a very tough time. You try to counteract that with having better damage gear, so you do more damage and less turns, but you still need that survivability. So that's actually how we solved the Force boss, was bringing Mother Superior back into the lineup with Aox. So we had 2 extra healers in addition to Grush putting out the Leech, and then we kept Aina in with Skull Crusher, and we were able to actually do about 8 or 9 million a key there, where we were only doing 4 or 5 before on Force. So that kind of helped us solve and get to that 4 key level. But let me shut up here and we'll go ahead and run. We just run this on auto. We'll just throw it in here, and we will see if that getting War Master has made that big of a difference for Aox. Hopefully it does. Hopefully we get some extra damage out of that. You know, and Frozen Banshee's been doing a lot of damage now that she has Aox kind of put in there with her. And I think once we get Aox's support tree finished, it's going to make him even better champion. So doing pretty well so far. 1 million damage on 2 turns is pretty good for my account on free to play. It's not we've not been able to do that well thus far. Aina in that Relentless set now is pretty cool because she can take extra turns already, and sometimes when that procs, she just takes a whole bunch of extra turns here. But you can see we actually do have that debuff bar filled up pretty good. And you see there, Aina just took a whole bunch. She just keeps on going. If you get her in the Relentless set, it can get pretty good. So we're already at 2.5 through 4 turns. Not too bad. Getting those debuffs up on the clan boss and keeping them up on him. Kind of just give you an idea of what we've got going on. Poison sensitivity's up on him. Getting those nice extensions. That's the other thing about Aox. He extends those debuffs whenever he takes a hit. So that actually really helps us keep all this stuff up on the clan boss for extra turns. It really helps us get a lot more effectiveness out of that there. Nice, we're getting some War Master procs on Aox, which is pretty cool. Pretty decent damage so far. And you can see between the healing from Grush and Aox, and then we get the ally protection from Skullcrusher, we're pretty sturdy. Getting a lot of healing there every time we attack. Getting all these extra turns. I mean, that's that Relentless set just doing work. If you have a really solid damage dealer, the Draco, the Aina, if you're using Raza Scarhide, any of those types of champions you're using in your clan boss team, if you can get them into a Relentless set, it could really give you a ton of damage. You see with this comp here, we're almost to turn 10, and we're almost... we could probably, yeah, we're going to hit 7 million here before turn 10. Which is, this is so much better than what we were doing before. And this is kind of what I was talking about in my video the other night about really enjoying the free-to-play account, because it's when you actually make this type of progression, it just feels so good to finally get to that point. You're like, all right, you know, we hit another milestone with the account. You know, we're able to 3 or 4 key Nightmare now, get that top chest every single day ×2, so that's going to really help us start getting more shards for our account, getting more gear for our account, you know, getting more books. It's just such a good feeling to hit this milestone. Finally, we're at 8 million already, turn 11. Doing pretty good so far. Of course, Grush is taking the stun here because he is negative affinity, and that's something I haven't honestly done any speed tuning on this team. I haven't done any stun target tuning. This is basically just raw gear and masteries. Finally just getting to the point that we have a workable clan boss team that can actually do really well at Nightmare. It's kind of where we are. And we do have a couple other champions that we are working on that we can hopefully switch in and out when the affinity swaps. We've got Jareg coming up. He's going to be somebody that we're going to look at building. But so far I'm really impressed just this week with the amount of progress we've made. And we've already hit 10 million. I used to only hit 10 million. 10 million a key used to be my maximum on this year, but it's just a great little composition we've been able to come up with here. You can see here again, we're keeping those debuffs on the clan boss pretty much full time, full debuff bar. You know, that decreased defense is up there for 3 more turns. You know, poison sensitivity. We got the weaken on him, and that's just Aox extending those debuffs. And you can see he also puts out that decreased attack. That really helps you in these later turns, because starting around like turn 14, 15, the clan boss really starts to hit pretty hard. So it's going to be very helpful these next couple of turns when we get that decreased attack up. Alright, so Grush is eating that stun, which is good. We're about 13. Like 13 million is our magic number for the 3 key, because I think we need, what, we need 39 million to 3 key. So we're already at that pace right now. We've got a 3 key. We're on turn 19. We're still going pretty strong. Skullcrusher's getting a little low. Aina is just, she is going to work on that Relentless. Skullcrusher's, okay, he's going to heal to full there. That's good, because we're going to take a big shot here. We do lose Aina there, so that's about turn 20. That's about normal with this team. But you can see the damage comparison now. We're up 4 to 5 million damage more than what we were doing before. On the Void Clan boss, that's the cool thing too, with the boss swapping affinity, being able to do this much damage is still pretty cool. So we're doing alright here. We're probably going to lose Grush there, and we're getting toward the end now. We may get a couple more turns with if we can get some good healing, but we're at 15 million, so pretty cool. We lose everybody there on that turn, unfortunately. We didn't get to our 16 million like we did earlier, but look at the difference with Aox. So he was doing about 1.4 million damage before. Now he's up to 3.3, and you know, with better gear, Grush is weak affinity here, so he's not hitting very hard. You know, I think we could definitely continue to work on this team and get a lot out of it. But 15.29 million, really pretty solid from where we've been to be able to get to this point. So I'm very happy with this. Let's go ahead and go into our champions, and I will kind of show you guys what we're working with here. So we got Aox here, and again, his gear is not fully rolled up, and it's not really the best either. Like, he's in a resistance chest piece right now. And the only reason he's in that is because I got a double accuracy roll on a perception piece, so I can pair it with the boots to get him a bunch of accuracy. You'll see his accuracy there is pretty high. The stats he's running right now, he's at 262, so he should be fine when we eventually do move up to Ultra Nightmare. His biggest issue is we got to get his defense up above 3,000 and then try to get his crit rate up a little bit for his damage. His HP is in a pretty good spot, but we can sacrifice a little bit of that if we can get the defense up a little bit higher. But again, that's the thing. It's always a work in progress. The gear is not great. He's in crit damage gloves. Really, I think that was just to get speed and to get him into Immortal, so he's got a little bit of extra healing to help him out there. And, you know, again, not fully rolled up. His jewelry is not fully rolled up either. I'm kind of waiting for an artifact enhancement event to take care of that there. And then you can see his masteries. We still have 2 more in the support tree to finish up there, so that's also going to make him a little bit more effective. So we move on to Skull Crusher here. You see his masteries are fully completed, and we haven't rolled up his gear all the way either. I'm still kind of tinkering with his build to show you guys where he is now. He's at 40k HP, 3400 defense, 180 speed. We don't really want his accuracy to be that high because we don't want him landing his debuff to make room for all the other ones. But we need to get his crit rate obviously up here. That's been his biggest problem. I have him in a set of defense percent gauntlets, speed boots and defense chest. So we're trying to find a crit. I don't have a good set of crit rate gloves, honestly, so that's kind of what you know, we're working on with him. And then we've got his jewelry as well. Do have him in the crit damage instead of a defense or HP. We could always change that up there too. And then we have him in a defense banner that you get a speed roll. So you know, work in progress. We switched him over into poison set, so he puts a little bit of extra damage out there for us just kind of by default. That gives us that chance to place the poison debuff 75%, so that's usually pretty much guaranteed. He's going to be putting out that poison. That helps out if Frozen Banshee misses any of her poisons, and now that we also have Aox in there, it's pretty helpful. Aina is into the Relentless set as we were talking about earlier, and then kind of some broken pieces here. We've got her in an accuracy chest, which is hurting her a little bit. What I would like to do, but unfortunately I did not have the banner, is put her into an accuracy banner and then get her into an HP or defense chest to kind of help out her survivability, because you'll see here her defense is only 1900. We need this to get to 3000 or higher. She is pretty fast though, and you saw from all those Relentless procs, she kind of makes up for her being fragile with getting a bunch of extra attacks in, which kind of keeps her healed up. Her crit rate's decent. We need to get that to 100 if we can. And then she's at 258 accuracy, which is fine. But like I said, I would like to get an accuracy banner for her and then swap out that chest piece for HP or defense, and then maybe even try to improve some of these Relentless pieces. She's pretty much in my second best Relentless set, although I did steal the 6-star speed boots, I think from Syl the Drakes, so that we could make her fast enough for Clan Boss. And again, we still have to roll some of those pieces up. So, and then her masteries are all completed there and basically designed to help her land those debuffs and get some extra damage there. Okay, then we have Grush, who we've been using as well. Now his gear is all fully rolled up. He's at 281 accuracy. He is missing a neck piece. I just don't have any Organ Tribes. Accessories, we need to farm Spider, which it's like everything else. There's so much you have to do on the account. We did get this Blood Shield ring on him that gives him a little bit of shielding. His statistics are pretty decent. He's at 3100 defense, 38,000 HP, 183 speed, and then 281 accuracy. We want to make sure he's landing that leech and his other debuffs. Now, Grush can hit very hard, so at some point we do want to try to get him into a 6-star set of crit rate gloves or build his crit rate through other gear pieces, but right now, pretty satisfied with where he is at. We did manage to finish all of his masteries, so he's good on that front there. Now, Frozen Banshee, we have been able to tinker with her a little bit. I've actually improved her quite a bit over the last couple of weeks just by re-rolling gear, getting some other pieces in. We managed to get this 6-star defense chest plate from the Nightmare campaign. Actually, I've been working on the Nightmare campaign on this account, so it's been very helpful there. Again, her gear's not even fully rolled up. We were able to swap her out of an accuracy chest too because we got the accuracy banner. That's kind of what I was talking about with Aina. I want to get her more survivability, so I want to switch out, you know, that accuracy chest piece for that banner, and that's what we were able to do on Frozen Banshee. So because of that, we actually were able to hit just over 3,000 defense on her. So that's been very big for her survivability because usually she's very squishy. You can see even there, our HP is only 28,000. It's very tough to build her to be like tanky. So the fact we were able to get her over 3,000, her speed's a little, I'd like to get her speed up a little bit. It's in a decent spot. Her accuracy at 272. So she's going to be able to land those poison debuffs and that poison sensitivity. But just being able to rework that gear was very good for her, and it's allowing her to survive longer, and you're noticing she's doing a lot more damage now, being able to keep that poison sensitivity up with Aox's help. It's just a synergy between the champions now that we have. Bringing Aox into this team, he's just such a great champion. Let me show you guys this kit too, what I'm talking about here. So it's basically the Steward of Time ability, which increases the duration of 2 random debuffs by 1 turn anytime they get attacked. So any of those debuffs that are on there and he gets attacked by the clan boss, he's got the opportunity to basically extend 2 of those debuffs at random. So maybe it's the weaken, maybe it's the poison, maybe it's the leech. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's got the 50% decrease attack. He's got decreased crit rate. He's got the heal all allies by 10%. And then if there's debuffs on the clan boss, he heals even more. So this guy is just, it's almost like he's designed to work very well against the clan boss. And then he's got the poison on the A1, which is pretty good. And it's the good poison too, the 5%. So just a really strong champion overall. If you have Aox and you haven't really done much with him, I would greatly suggest that you build him. He's very, very good, especially for clan boss, Lizardman faction wars, and even dungeon progression. He can be very helpful for you. So that's our main 5 we've been using, and like I said, we've been swapping in Mother Superior now and again because she is fully mastered. We were using her before actually as a speed lead on this clan boss team, so she can kind of come right in on that force clan boss and be able to do some extra damage there and help us actually get through that. Her stats are nothing impressive. She's just kind of in there to do some healing, and eventually, you know, sometimes she can hit the attack down. But when it goes force, we can run her with Grush, Aox, Skull Crusher, and then put Aina in there for the damage, and we usually still do pretty well. So that's kind of where we're at, guys, and we do have a couple other champions sort of in the works. We're working on building Dreg up for clan boss as well. He's got the ally protect, he's got the attack down. Very good clan boss champion. You know, further down here we've also got Anax, who I'm not quite sure where he would fit in at this point, because I kind of like the team synergy we have now. I just kind of want to work on the 5 we're using, see how far they can go. But very exciting developments. The fact we can now 3-key basically Nightmare gives us an extra key to use if we want to drop down and use it on the Brutal clan boss, or if we want to even make an attempt at the Altered Nightmare clan boss, but we haven't tried that yet. I'm not quite ready to make that next step. We've also been able to improve the Great Hall quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. You'll notice now we've got a lot more 4s, a lot more blue on here than we had before. Even the bronzes are coming up quite a bit. So we went for defense first, mainly on our 3 affinities that we're using in clan boss, and then I went for HP. I'm trying to make them a little bit more tanky, you know, help out our champions so they can survive a little bit longer there. So just a lot of stuff we're working on right now, you know, and it all kind of comes together to help you make those improvements on the account. Anyways, guys, I've rambled on for long enough, so if you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, feel free to leave it down below. Let me know how your clan boss teams are going. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.